Okay, so it's time for an unboxing video. This is a product that was sent to me from BangGood.com. This is a sponsored video. Let's have a look at what it is. It's, as you can probably tell, it's a bicycle light. So let's see what we get in the box. So we get 3 AAAs, a mounting bracket to fix it to your handlebars, and the light itself. And I'll figure out how that little clip works in a minute. It looks like it's something has to be unscrewed or something like that. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Anyway, let's get inside the thing and see what it does. So it unscrews. That doesn't look like it's going to be fully waterproof, but it has got a gasket in there, so maybe we'll find out how waterproof that is as well as part of our test. Let's put the batteries in. Okay, let's do that up. Yeah, I think if that's done up tight, I think that will probably be waterproof. It has got that silicone gasket. So one press gives us a nice bright spot beam. Second press gives us a slightly attenuated beam, and the third press gives us red lights, so you could have that on the rear of a bike, and fourth press gives us a flashing red, and fifth press is off. So bright white, not so bright white, steady red, flashing red, off. Now it's not entirely clear to me why we've got a bike light here that is capable of going on the front or the back of a bike. I can't quite get my head around that. I mean, either you fix it on the front of your bike and you use it as a headlight, or you fix it on the back of the bike and use it as a tail light. Can't actually see why you need a light that does both. That was my initial impression anyway, but on thinking about it, if you think about it, if you wanted to keep a spare light for your bike, then I guess you'd only need one of these. So I suppose that kind of makes sense. So I think what we'll do is we'll take this outside in a minute. It's dark outside at the moment. We'll have a look and see how much illumination this gives us and give it a little test. So let's just see also how it fixes onto the bracket. That opens up just about wide enough that you can slip that over the handlebars, and then you do it up with this screw here. So let's have a look and see. So this must clip on to this bracket somehow. Let's see if I can figure that out. It's going to be like that. Yeah. Okay, so that clips on to the bracket, and then you'd probably have that way around. If you've got extreme vibration, I suppose that hinge is pretty good actually. You'd have to shake that pretty hard for that to move. But let's go outside now and see what it performs like outdoors. Okay, so we're outside my house. This is a notoriously dark and poorly lit little alleyway that runs down the back of the houses. Let's see if the bike light sheds any light on that. That's not bad actually. So there we go. I wouldn't walk down this alleyway without a flashlight or light of some sort, but actually that's pretty good illumination there. Let's just see what that's like on half beam. Still bright enough to see by, certainly bright enough to be seen. The red, well, it's meant to be a tail light anyway, so that's not for illumination. And that's what it's like without the light. So as you can see, I'm just completely in the dark here. But with my front light, that's actually pretty good. I guess I should be testing this on a bike, but that sounds a bit too much like hard work to me. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to stop there, I think. That's pretty good illumination, I would say. So illumination capacity is pretty good on this thing. Actually, I have no concerns about that at all. I'm not even really sure that the camera picked it up properly, but certainly there was Plenty enough light there to see by and to cycle by. Let's have a look and see how, yeah, that comes off relatively easy. You just bend that little clasp there, which is metal, so it won't snap off. Clicks on, doesn't fall off very easily. Okay, I think there is one more test we need to do with this, because this is supposedly a waterproof light. So let's find out exactly how waterproof it really is. Right, so switch it on. There we go, into a bowl of water. Let's give it a little bit more of a hard time by throwing the tap on it as well. That's kind of simulating driving rain and wind and so on. There we go. And we'll leave that in there for a minute or so and see what happens to it. Okay, so that's had about a minute underwater. We'll turn it off now. What I'm going to do, we'll dry off the casing completely, and then I'll open it up and we'll see if we've got any water inside the case at all. Okay, so I've dried that off as best I can. Hopefully I've got all of the water out of the bits where it could get into the seals. Let's have a look inside and see if any water managed to penetrate the seals. I can't see any sign of... Now there is a little bit of... Yeah, there's moisture on the batteries there, so I think that's probably not fully waterproof. I suspect probably the point of entry is going to be somewhere around... I don't know. Yeah, there is a tiny bit of moisture there. So there we go. Perhaps that wasn't a fair and scientific test. I mean, after all, it did keep working. But yes, look, there is unfortunately a little bit of water there. So it's obviously not rated for full immersion. Perhaps that wasn't really a fair test. I guess probably if I put a little bit of silicone grease around the inside of that seal, I might well have got away with a bit more immersion. So what are we going to say about this? How are we going to rate this? Brightness is brilliant. Purpose is a little bit obscure. The dual purpose front and rear, I guess, makes a bit of sense. I think this is probably something you'd buy to keep in your bag as a spare, because it can function in either capacity. So you might buy one of these, keep it in your rucksack and only use it once in a while when your main light, front or rear, gets broken, damaged, stolen, lost, or you have to lend it to someone else. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon.